Hello. I want you to try to start to think about your relationship from a different perspective. Completely different perspective. As we move through the relationship with our narcissist, we love them, we fight for them, we believe in them, we try to nurture them, we try to help them, we try to guide them to human behavior, right? What we never think about, I don't think, if we did, we would exit sooner, is that throughout all of the indiscretions or things wrong that they do to us, we are losing respect for them every single step of that way. And at the end, I have to say, and I think I used cheesy car salesman once before, but I just started to look at him and realize that I don't respect him. And I started out respecting him. He did something noble for a living. There were things about him. He called his mother every day. But a lot of narcissists do things that are respectful, like go to church. I knew one that went to church every 3 days. This was 10 years ago. I realize now he was a narcissist, but that was his portraying to the world that he's a good person. And narcissists will do that, right? We all know that. But towards the end, I started to see it in a different way. Like after everything, and it took a lot, which a lot of you have put up with a lot more than I did. It took a lot, though, even in my case. But I began to look at the things he was doing with disgust instead of anger or pain or hurt. Don't get me wrong, those things are always the undercurrent when you're with a narcissist: anger, pain, and hurt. But if you can maybe look past those things, you'll get to the point where you look at what he says to you or how he behaved with you or something he did to you, and you'll just go, ew. Like just ew. Like gross. And when that happens, it's very tough to be in a relationship or to even want to continue the relationship if you lose respect. And that doesn't matter what it is. Think of a friend you've had, a boss you've had, a coworker, a family member. You can love someone and you can like someone and you can detest them at some times, but you'll stay with it even if you have bad times. But if you pay attention and ask yourself, are you respecting them throughout what they're doing? It's very difficult to hang in there when you disrespect them. And there are 1,000,001 videos on how to make the narcissist respect us. You'll find a lot of videos on that. And I've watched them, and they're great. And they're true, and that's fine. If you're stuck, you want to try to make them respect you, and those videos are very helpful. However, I'm talking about when you start to pay attention and you are losing respect for your narcissist. It's a turning point. It's another shift. I've told you when I have a shift, I want to share it with you because it did help me. And it's glorious because first you'll notice it when things that they say make you cringe. They make you cringe. It's a different thing. It's not, oh, I'm so hurt by what he just said. Or, oh my God, I'm so angry I could fight. You don't even fight. You've lost your battle. You don't even want, not because you're downtrodden and beaten down and defeated. That's not why. You're just like, I don't even feel like coming back with something because that is just so below me. Do you know what I mean? So you'll start to pay attention to things that they say will make you cringe and not even want to respond. You'll realize, no, it's not where I want to reside with myself. I don't want to interact with someone who is exhibiting that kind of behavior, mentality upon me. So it's first you cringe, and then their behaviors, you start to look at them, and I went from being hurt by the despicable behavior to being disgusted by it. And then, once I was disgusted by it, just flat out, I went through a phase of towards the end, I've made videos of how do you know when it's final, you know? But towards the end, I got disgusted, like, how can a human being behave that way? How can a human being behave that way? Same thing as when you're watching the news and you're watching a documentary or you're watching a movie and you have disgust in you. And you're like, how can that person do that? Or how can that... It's the same feeling that I had, but for my narcissist. And I got to where I couldn't even fathom putting my company in his. Because I know I live my life as a good person. So it didn't belong matched with him anymore. So that was one of the things that helped me turn a corner. You really need to pay attention to that. You're sitting there, you're loving on your narcissist, you're thinking, I can't break up with them yet. Not at that point yet. Okay, that's fine. No problem. But I encourage you, please, if you really deep down inside want to get the courage to leave your narcissist, start to pay attention to the things that they do that make you go, ugh, that's just gross. How could you be that way with somebody? Whether it's with you or friends that they're, you know, touting up one side and down the other only because you know that they want to use that friend for something. These are all very disrespectful behaviors. And I find them disgusting. I would in any person. Any person. So I started to really concentrate in on those things and see, I allowed myself to start to see my narcissist the same way I would anybody that I just met and had those behaviors. There are people we meet in life that we don't become friends with, friends of friends, friends, co-workers, and you're like, I just don't like that person. Look at them. They're just, you, with my narcissist, I started to get to that place. And I thought, that is just not the way to behave. And I found some of the behaviors when I removed myself from them, I realized it was all him. No reason to be hurt. I chose pity rather than anger towards the end. I pitied him, which is probably the worst thing you could probably do for a narcissist. And I don't think I said it out loud to him, but I really pitied, and I pity them. I do. I pity all of them. They're stuck in a hell loop. They put us through one too. That's correct. Yes. But I really do pity them. They're never ever going to find happiness. And their despicable behavior ensures that. It does not, however, ensure that you won't find happiness unless you're stuck in it. And that if you are and you don't see a way out, then I encourage you maybe to look up some of those videos that how to make them respect you. Or start to at least get your footing and try not to be, don't let them think that you so easily believe everything they say. That's where I got to the point. Every single word that came out of his mouth, I told him I knew he was lying. Throughout all of the end. Every word. He could say it was daytime, which is bright light right now. I'd say, nope, you're lying, it's night. It was a total disrespect. And when you think of that, disrespect, think in your lifetime, times you've disrespected somebody. Like I said, maybe a boss you've had, a cousin, a friend, and you were just like, ugh, they got to the point that their behavior was so bad I couldn't even be around them anymore. I had to quit that job. Or I just it's the same thing. It's the same thing. And so there's no reason to be hurt if you separate yourself from their disrespectful behavior. It has nothing to do with you. Don't internalize it as to be about you. Nothing to do with you. You're trucking along just fine in your respectable way. So we cannot internalize what they're doing. It's their dysfunction. And you should and need immediately to completely disrespect the behavior, the words they use, how they come at you, what they're doing to you. Even if you can't leave them, even if you think you still love them, even if you do still love them, you don't want to not see the fact that you should disrespect their actions and their words immediately. And that may help you. That may help you to, even if you don't leave them, to turn a corner inside and gain some strength for yourself and realize, wow, they're just a big mess. They're just a big mess. And it has zero to do with you. So when I started to feel all these things, I realized that I really was in a place of total just disrespect for my narcissist. And once that crept in, that's hard. That is hard. It's like having a grumpy old grandparent or aunt or uncle, or and you're just like, ugh, I don't even want to be around that person. You can get to that point with your narcissist, and that's completely natural, because how can you continue respecting somebody who acts this way towards you? So that might just be the push that you need. I want you to start looking at your relationship in terms of respect, not love. We all know we love our narcissist. We're in it. You're trying your best. You're swallowing things every day that you want to just scream about, and you're not saying it, and you're pushing them down. And if you look at it from a place of respect, I think you might, you might come up with different answers for yourself. That's all. Chin up.